Hello everyone and welcome back to my F1 23 Breaking Point series. I was very close to saying my team there. This is Breaking Point 2, definitely. And yes, we are in Chapter 11 now. Callie Mayer has accepted Casper Ackermann's offer to join the team after Devon Butler rage quit from Formula 1 in the previous episode. Things did not go his way at Imola. And things haven't gone so well with Noah Bell, our reserve driver. And yeah, we needed a solid replacement driver. So let's hope Callie Mayer can do the job here at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Chapter 11. With current F2 champion Callie Mayer now on board, Casper and the team at Konnersport hope that stability on the roster will help garner the results needed to keep pace in the competitive midfield of the F1 grid.
Could you take a look at this, please?
Alrighty, so we have an investment opportunity. We have a sponsor who has paid early, so we can either invest that money into the car, the team, or the factory. If you read the description, investing in the team says it will help us for years to come, but this is only a 2-year story, and we're already in the second year, so that's not going to help. So that narrows it down to basically rewarding the team or making improvements to the car. And we're still early in the season, so of course we're going to make improvements to the car. And the phone call.
Davidov.
They stopped me entering the garage just because Callie's in there. It's ridiculous.
We've had this conversation. You need to give her space.
I'll humour you for now, Ackerman, but I don't like being told where I can and can't go around here. Don't forget, you talked me into this.
What does that mean? Talked you into what?
Signing Callie in the first place. I'm just allowing you to take credit for it, that's all.
Yeah, it sounds like you're trying to blame me.
Well, if you're right about it, there'll be no blame to allocate, will there?
Anything else?
You're a busy man. I'll let you go.
Grumpy Davidoff. Well, yes, the tensions are rising already, it seems. He's not too happy with the current state of things. But anyway, we'll see how things go once the race gets underway. But anyway, socials, not too much interesting here. People just talking about the exciting new signing and such things. But yeah, Azerbaijan, it's an interesting circuit. One I'm a bit 50-50 about this one. It could either go very well or very badly. Sometimes I really like this circuit, other times this circuit doesn't like me back. But anyway, let's just have a look at the emails, and then we'll get into it. It looks like every journalist this side of the Atlantic wants to have an interview with Callie Mayer this weekend. And it looks like Zoe Ackerman is going to try to take credit for Casper mentoring Callie in the weekend preview, but there's not too much interesting there. So without further ado, let's get into the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. With the world watching, Callie looks to make history as she approaches her first start behind the wheel of an F1 car.
History is made here today as Callie Mayer, Konnersport's latest signing, becomes the first female driver of the modern era to participate in an F1 race.
What a moment! I've got goosebumps. Now, for those of you wondering at home, only a handful of women have entered at least one Grand Prix over the years, but none have even had the opportunity to qualify since 1992. Italy's Giovanna Amati, for those of you wondering. So today is very much a new dawn here in Baku.
And Mayer was impressive in qualifying, so let's see what the Grand Prix has in store for her.
Yeah, I have to say, it is quite a tight-knit pack out there. Fierce competition all round. I really wouldn't want to call this one.
Indeed. We've seen some brilliant driving here today, especially from young Callie Mayer. She seems to have made the transition to F1 as if she was born for it.
Okay, Callie, really good start. Keep it up.
I'm not finished yet.
Alright, our primary objective is to catch up to Aiden Jackson before lap 8, and then our bonus objective is to finish in the top 8. Currently we are sitting in P16 and Aiden Jackson is in P12, so we have plenty of work to do. Once again, I'll try it on the challenging difficulty first. So let's see if we can do this.
Okay, Callie, really good start. Keep it up.
I'm not finished yet.
As I mentioned, we need to catch up to Aiden Jackson before lap 8, and to do that we need to pass 3 cars. Bit of a loss of the rear end straight away there as we head towards the castle section. Very tricky to get through here with absolutely zero practice, but we managed to do that, and we immediately start putting the pressure on Nick de Vries. We go for the move down the inside into this quick left-right section onto the main straight. We get the move done, but that did compromise our run. Now Nick de Vries has the momentum as we head side by side along the straight. De Vries gets back ahead of us. We're going to duck in for some slipstream, or we'll just go straight back down the inside into turn 1, and that will maintain the position back ahead of Nick de Vries. Just 2 cars to go now, as we now have Lando Norris ahead of us. We'll go for the move down the inside of Lando Norris, and we'll move ourselves ahead and up 1 more position. Just Yuki Tsunoda now separating us and Aiden Jackson. So once we make our way past the Japanese driver, that'll be part 1
ahead. Our gap to the car in front is 1.8 seconds.
Of the objective complete. It's always a concern in these breaking point challenges when our teammate is the target, because quite often that ends in some form of fireworks. Super late move to the inside there, and I'm a little bit concerned we may have made some contact, but I think we just about got away with it.
0.1 seconds. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Okay, so no.
But anyway, we've moved ourselves up in behind Aiden Jackson now, and that is part 1 of the objective done. We've caught up to Aiden Jackson, so we'll see if we can pass him before lap 8.
Let's go. Okay, 7 laps to go.
But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Here comes Callie Mayer closing in on her teammate.
She's practically on top of me. Aiden, calm down. You're on different strategies. Just let Callie pass. Okay, Callie. Aiden's going to let you pass at the next corner. Let's go.
Copy.
Will Mayer get past her teammate now? Here she comes. But there's contact. Contact between the 2 Konnersport drivers. Jackson's out. He gets the worst of it. Mayer's clear.
Oh, Jackson's damage looks bad. I think you're right, Crofty. His race is over.
Mayer seemed to catch Jackson unawares, though. I'm not sure why.
What was that? Why didn't she wait for me to move over on the exit? Okay, Aiden. Are you all right? It's just another butler.
I thought he was letting me through.
Yeah, I know, Callie. I'm sorry about that, but it's happened now. It's over. Let's get your head down and focus. Come on. We'll talk about it later.
Copy.
Well, that's not ideal, is it? Objective switch now to finish in the top 10. We now, or the bonus objective is still to finish in the top 8. We're still running P12. Hopefully the car's not damaged. I'll check in a moment. So we need to gain 2 more places for the primary objective, 4 more for the bonus objective. We've been making pretty quick progress so far, so hopefully we can do that. So let's keep on moving through this race then, and start charging towards the points in this race. The next driver ahead of us.
No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the
Okay,
driving.
we don't have any damage to the car, which is good. That is all good news for us. But anyway, the next driver ahead of us, I was saying, is Esteban Ocon. So let's see if we can get a good run on the Frenchman. Nice run through the last little chicane there, and now on to the straight. DRS for us as we try and find a little opening to the right hand side of Esteban Ocon, and we get the move done.
In front is 3.5 seconds.
And we'll swing in to take the apex, and that is a job done. We move ourselves ahead of Esteban Ocon. I hope this is just a scare and they don't actually turn Aiden Jackson into the enemy, because, like, you know, he's, you know, the main character of the old game, so that would be kind of, I don't know, a weird way to make a story. But I guess we'll see. Moving on, we catch up to George Russell, a little bit cautious through the final few corners, and Russell skips away, but we're going to have the DRS as we head down towards the first corner, and that will keep us in contention as we sit in the slipstream. This is for 10th place in our primary objective, so this is an important position for us as we lunge down the inside, and we're going to get the move done here into turn 1. That's job done into P10. We now catch up to Sergio Perez. We're going to make the move here down into the castle section. We go late on the brakes. We might grab Lance Stroll as well. I wasn't really intending to do that, but that's a double move into the castle section, and that is us now up into our bonus objective position, and that is worthy of a replay. Super late on the brakes as Perez just defended slightly. We were out of control in the braking zone, and we only just barely got it stopped, but we got the job done, and that is 2 places gained for us up into 8th place. We're not done yet though, because we catch up to Pierre Gasly, and we're going to go for the move down the inside into this very high speed S section at the end of the circuit in the final sector, and we get the move done. Although I don't think that's really the greatest overtaking opportunity, because now we've given the DRS to Pierre Gasly, and he's just going to roll on straight past on the main straight, and we'll have to duck in behind once again. We'll send it around the outside into turn 1, and we'll get the position back as we head through, and that's brought us up into 7th place once again. We move on then to the final lap, the final sector. You can see I almost caught up to Oscar Piastri. I was throwing everything at it. We shrunk down to 7-second margin to now under 1 second. We're going to get DRS on the way to the line, but I don't think it's going to be enough to catch up to Oscar Piastri. I think he's just too far ahead at this point, and it's going to be a P7 for us here in Azerbaijan. Certainly not a bad result at all.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Well, in spite of the drama amongst those at the top of the standings, so much of the discussion today has centred around Konnersport.
Absolutely, a bittersweet race for them today. One historic debut, one DNF. I mean, you couldn't write it.
And talking of that debut, what did you make of Callie Mayer's first ever start?
Well, I am so excited to see Callie racing in F1. It is great for the sport. She is a phenomenal talent. I can't wait to see what the season holds and her career as a whole.
And if today is anything to go by, the name Callie Mayer is one that we'll be watching with a lot of interest for many years to come. Ferrari are at it again. An excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there.
Not an ideal start. A misunderstanding between the new teammates forces Aiden to retire from the race in Baku.
And do you feel extra pressure at Konnersport? It must be difficult with your dad looking over your shoulder. Look, it's F1. It's not possible for me to feel any more pressure than I already do. So no, it's not an issue.
Callie, have you felt any pushback from anyone in the F1 world, just with you being the first female driver in the sport?
No, everyone's been amazing. And I'm not the first, I'm just the latest.
How's your brother? Are you really just keeping his seat warm?
You'd have to ask him that. But he is getting the help that he needs. And no, I have no intention of giving up this seat.
What happened out there between you and Aiden today?
It's just a mix-up. I thought he was letting me through on the entry, but he clearly had other ideas.
We spoke to him earlier, and he said it was deliberate on your part. Any comment on that?
It was just a misunderstanding.
You've always gone by Mayer, and now you're in a team financed by your father, driving in your brother's seat. Would you go back to the Butler name?
Should have expected it, right?
I thought you did.
That's not what I mean. I mean, I'm a woman, I get it. I'm happy to talk about it.
Then what is it?
Well, it's always the same, isn't it? So you're a woman, and then every question about Dad, about Devon, about the Butler name.
Just forget about it.
Oh, I can never get away from it, can I? The only question about the race was about Aiden.
Well, you know, maybe if we'd let it run a little longer, there would have been...
Casper? Don't defend them.
Sorry, you're right. Sorry.
Look, it's fine. I'll be faster next time.
The incident at Baku, do you think she did it on purpose?
She did do it on purpose. Yeah. Check the footage.
So you didn't warm to her?
We weren't the best of friends. No.
So he still thinks she did it on purpose. That's probably not good news.
Hey, Mum.
Callie, I couldn't be prouder, darling. Well done.
Oh, thanks, Mum. It was a good race. Felt great out there.
Oh, it was a good race.
Oh, no, what is it?
What do you mean, what is it? What's what?
I can hear it in your voice, Mum. It was a good race.
No, it's nothing.
Go on.
No, it's just that... You didn't do it on purpose, did you? When you clipped poor Aiden.
I can't believe you're even asking me. Did you really raise your daughter to behave like that?
Well, I'm really not sure.
It was an accident, Mum. I'm hanging up.
Oh, of course it was. Bye, darling. Lots of love.
Alright, I think it's time I put my driving standards observer hat on and had a look at this replay. We've slowed it down to 1/8 speed, hence the frame rate, and as you can see, Callie Mayer does not turn into the corner and sends Aiden Jackson straight ahead up the escape road. And yeah, I'm inclined to agree with Aiden Jackson on that one. That did look pretty intentional, although I will say in Callie's defense, letting someone past in terms of team orders wise, letting someone past on the exit of a corner would be a pretty weird way of doing it, as Aiden Jackson sort of had planned. Doing it on the entry to the corner, as Callie had imagined, makes a lot more sense in my head. That's how I would do it. But anyway, that would make for a much more traditional overtake. But anyway, that is my take on what happened there. But anyway, let's get on with the story. The Baku Roundup. A day of drama. It sure was. But hopefully that doesn't start a whole new like 2 or 3 games worth of fireworks. But we'll see. The Konnersport conundrum. Jackson not happy. Yeah, no kidding. But anyway, socials. Do I even want to look at that? Anyway, it seems like the interview requests for Callie are still flying in. Evelyn Mayer wants lunch, apparently. Well, more seriously, she wants to arrange a lunch or two so that Callie can meet up with some media types to see if she can make some allies in the press. And at the end, it says Evelyn Mayer, Director of Mayer PR Ltd. I suppose Evelyn Mayer runs a business of her own as well. So literally everyone in this game seems to run a business. I mean, Davidoff obviously, Evelyn runs a business, Zoe runs a business, Andrea obviously, just everyone. And we got an email from the head mechanic Phil Paget, just saying there's a few parts on the way to make the car more comfortable for the next round. If things will be better suited to Callie's measurements, but yeah, nothing too important or story related there. So with that said, let us move on. With an inauspicious start to their new driver lineup, Konnersport hope for more consistency as they head to historic Silverstone.
Hey boss, got another one for you.
So we have another department event, this one, the team interview. So we have an upcoming interview after the Austrian Grand Prix. However, Callie is refusing to attend because Davidoff is going. So we have a tricky situation. We can either support and say yes, she can sit this one out. We can flat out oppose and say she has to go. Or we can compromise and send Davidoff home and say, Davidoff, you can't go, and send Callie along. And that is by far the funniest option, so I'm going to do that because I like telling Davidoff what to do. And technically Davidoff just owns a sponsor. He's not part of senior management and he's certainly not a driver, so he has no real reason to be there. And we've got another one, Weber Access. So old mate Lucas Weber is back, and he's keen to do a piece on what it takes to be a team principal in Formula 1. However, the PR department are worried about it coming across as a puff piece, which is a phrase I've never heard before. But anyway, forget about them because it's Lucas Weber and I like him, so we are going to confirm that.
Andrea?
You seen this latest article doing the rounds today? 3 weeks later and the press are still going with narrative of the rivalry at Konnersport. Still!
They just need an angle for Silverstone. Paid no attention.
But they're right, aren't they? It's not like Callie and Aiden are suddenly treating each other like teammates.
They just need time. It took me a while to warm to Aiden back in the day.
Well, that's because you were a grumpy old man.
Yeah. Well, some things never change, I guess.
Ha! Now you're just grumpier and older. I'll leave you to it. Ciao.
Bye.
Oh dear. He's just grumpier and older. And running a Formula 1 team. But anyway, running your Formula 1 team, I should say. But is Devon Butler retired? Well, it would sort of seem so. He's kind of gone missing completely. Haven't heard from him in a little while. I mean, it's only been one race, I guess, but or two races, because we had Spain and then in the previous one, and then Azerbaijan. Now heading into Silverstone. Potentially, I mean, we're in the UK now. We might see him here. We'll see. But anyway, one of the news headlines there said the history of Silverstone, World War II to 2022. Well, firstly, that is a long time, but secondly, Silverstone was a very different track back then, and I'm kind of curious how much of the original circuit, if any, is actually left, because I know a lot of it is very, very different to what it was back then, even to what it was, not too many years ago. There have been many great changes to the circuit, but anyway, the Konnersport rivalry. Yes, Andrea, as we just heard, is not too happy about the news going around about that. Andrea Connor's thinking about telling the drivers about the terms of the contract, how they have to finish in the top 5 in the team standings. Sounds like Casper's not too keen on that idea, and they agreed to keep it a secret, but personally I think that is a good idea. And finally we have the weekend preview, including the weather forecast, which is dry. So with all of that said then, let's head to the British Grand Prix. With the crowd behind both drivers at their home Grand Prix, Callie Mayer is facing stiff competition from her teammate Aiden Jackson.
What is Aiden's problem?
Okay, we'll have a word.
He's been so late into these corners. I have no space out here.
Yeah, we'll talk to him, Callie.
This is still about Baku, isn't it?
Well, if it is about Baku, you kind of got yourself to blame for that one. But anyway, interestingly, we've been given control of the situation, and we are right behind Aiden Jackson, with no cars in between. So, yeah, I genuinely have no prediction as to how this one will play out. Yeah, generally the way these things work, you overtake a bunch of cars, and as soon as you get within one position, you know, the cutscene takes over and you crash. But yeah, that's clearly not the situation here. Our objective is to overtake Aiden Jackson, and our bonus objective is to finish in the top 10. So we currently sit well down the order, currently in P16, so let's try to move forward. So we continue to push on then, and it does actually take us a while, but eventually we do get right onto the back of Aiden Jackson as we head through the final sector. It's been very difficult to make the move on, but we get a lovely run out along the main straight down the inside into Abbey, and we get the move done on Aiden Jackson, and we move ourselves up into P15. It's very difficult to get that move done. We had to go full send there, but we got the job done. The primary objective is switched to just beating Aiden Jackson, staying ahead of him, and the bonus objective, of course, still to score a top 10. So
okay, so the gap to the car ahead, 1.6 seconds.
1.6 seconds to Oscar Piastri ahead. Let's see if we can close down that margin. And chasing down Oscar Piastri doesn't take long, and we're right on the back of him as we're heading towards Stowe Corner. Down the inside we go at the end of the hangar straight.
Nice work, mate. That brings you up a place.
And that's job done. And we might go full send here on Pierre Gasly. Big lunge down the inside into the final complex. And that is a nice double move in the last sector there. And 2 places gained. And a fastest lap of the race to boot. So that's nice progress on this lap. And we are closing into those points.
You're currently in P13. De Vries is ahead of you. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 2.5 seconds.
As we push on again then, it's once again doesn't take long for us to catch up to Nick De Vries. Big lunge down the inside. He just about sees us coming at the last moment there. Gives us the room on the apex of Stowe. We weren't too far alongside him, to be fair, but good job by Nick De Vries to see us there on the apex, give us the room, and that allowed us to get through and up into P12.
Good pace. You're catching the car in front by about a second a lap.
We continue to push on then, and once again on the hangar straight, we're closing into Zhou Guanyu. Not close enough at Stowe to make the move here, but we should be able to make the move now as we go late on the brakes down the inside, and that is job done. We move ourselves ahead of Zhou Guanyu, a bit wide on the exit though, but we should be able to stay ahead, and yeah, he's miles behind us, so that's job done, and we've moved ourselves up now into P11. We just need to pass Fernando Alonso, and that will be the bonus objective complete here at Silverstone. And so on the exit of Maggots and Beckett's, we do have a good run on Fernando Alonso. DRS open, but Alonso also has DRS from Carlos Sainz, who I think also has DRS, or at least he's reasonably close to, I think, Lando Norris in front of him as we make the move down the inside of Fernando Alonso and Sainz, and we make contact with the back of Lando Norris, and a big lose of the rear end there mid way through the switch from left to right.
We've got enough fuel for 3 more laps.
side by side with Carlos Sainz down the straight. Sainz backs out of it though, I think, as we race it down towards the first corner. We'll swing round, and that will be 2 positions gained for us up into ninth. Thankfully I think we've gotten away with that contact, and we should be able to now chase down Lando Norris as we race our way through Village and the loop, bit wide on the exit, but shouldn't lose too much time out of that. Let's see if we can chase down Lando Norris throughout the rest of this lap. We continue to push on once again onto the hangar straight. This has been the most powerful overtaking opportunity for us, and we're just going to absolutely steam past Lando Norris. That is the true power of DRS here.
Good job.
And wow, that was an easy overtake if I ever saw one. And job done. And we move ourselves ahead. And now all the way up into P8 in this race. We are absolutely flying.
Okay, mate, this is the final lap of the race. Final lap.
And onto the final lap now. We may have a chance
Green flag.
to chase down Yuki Tsunoda. I believe that was probably a fake yellow flag for the lapped car back there, as we have a bit of a moment right there, but no big concern as we are chasing down Yuki Tsunoda. We should have DRS here and a nice run, and that'll be job done easily down the inside, and we move ourselves ahead of Yuki Tsunoda as we head towards Brooklands. And now we should be able to bring this home in P7 for a second consecutive time in this episode. So we continue on then to the final few corners. Lewis Hamilton wins the British Grand Prix as we have a bit of a moment through the last few corners, but we'll bring it home for P7 once again.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
There's another solid bank of points for Konnersport.
You see, this is just another example of the Konnersport drivers antagonising each other.
Yeah, but you've got to look at Ackerman as well. He's the one that can sort this situation out, and so far, he's letting them run wild.
His job is to keep control, and no matter what the season, no matter what the driver, Konnersport just can't seem to gel as a team. So you've got to ask the question, really, what will it take? Well, Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again.
Callie, this is your first ever F1 race at Silverstone in front of the home fans. So just try to put into words what that means to you.
Alrighty, interview time. Of course, for this first one, we're just going to say it's a dream come true. I mean, what else are you going to say?
Yeah, I mean, just to see the number of fans cheering for me really spurred me on today. And I used to come here as a little girl to watch the races, so it really means everything. It's a dream come true, to be honest.
Well, I have to say it was tight out there once again between you and Aiden. You're not giving each other much space, are you?
And for this one, I just went with the most boring and neutral option. We're both competitive. It's going to happen.
Yeah, well, we're both incredibly competitive drivers. And we're going to have races where we get in each other's way. It happens all the time within teams, you know.
Now, naturally, there has been a lot of speculation about the role of your father, Davidoff Butler, in securing your seat at Konnersport. Just what do you say to the critics?
Well, as we know, Davidoff had absolutely nothing to do with it. Quite the opposite, in fact. So we're not going to be confirming that speculation. We will be doing the opposite. We're going to be saying, I'm here because I deserve to be. We'll go with the feisty Callie option.
Okay, well, look at Gasly, Leclerc, Russell, and now everyone's suddenly surprised that an F1 team signed an F2 champion. I'm here because I can drive. People need to get a grip.
Well, thank you for chatting with us. Great to have your time.
I like it. Anyway, more tensions, but another decent result. Anyway, that's the British Grand Prix done and dusted. Let's see what's up next. Callie manages to get the best of Aiden at Silverstone, but Konnersport continue to look like a team divided.
Hey, Mum.
Callie,
You saw the interview?
would you like some loving parental advice?
Not really.
Yeah. All this stuff about your father, I mean, you do know there's an element of truth to what they're saying. Like it or not, you've got to acknowledge it.
I don't have to acknowledge anything.
You can't make it go away by ignoring it, Cal. People will say all manner of nonsense if you don't accept it. She's privileged, they'll say. She's out of touch.
I don't care what they say about me.
Of course you do. You're only human.
I'm just here to drive.
If only it were that simple, darling.
Yeah. Look, I've got stuff to do, okay?
Think about it anyway. Lots of love.
Okay then. Seems like Mum wasn't a huge fan of what we said, even though it was literally true. But anyway, moving on. A team in crisis. Yeah, well, that's a bit drastic. It's not as bad as season 1. Is Aiden Jackson happy? Evidently not at the moment. But anyway, is Mayer out of touch? Oh, for goodness sake, enough of this stuff. And skipping straight over socials, let's move on to emails. And oh my goodness, enough about this stupid interview question. Goodness me. Can't get away from it. I get it, alright? I get it. Got an email here from Alyssa Lang regarding the press call after Spielberg that Callie now has to attend, but that doesn't really say anything important. And we got one final email from Andrea O'Connor, just saying please be careful what you say on the radio, just don't argue publicly, etc. Nothing too relevant for the time being, but we'll see if that is any form of foreshadowing or not. But anyway, we have one final cutscene to watch, but from me that is all for now. So thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I really do appreciate it. Feel free to give us some feedback in the comments. It is always very helpful. Other than that, I will see you in the next one. Goodbye. Here is the final cutscene.
I did not like Aiden. Not at all.
Why not?
I thought he was immature about what happened in Baku. I mean, like he never really got over it. He was aggressive on track, and the paddock talks. He just wasn't happy at Konnersport. Thought he was too good for the team. He just had a bit of an attitude problem.
It's already complicated. And I've told you they don't need to know.
Well, it's your call, of course. But the dishonesty makes me uncomfortable.
We'll talk about it later. Yes?
Let's make this quick.
Or maybe we could give Casper a bit of our time.
This wasn't scheduled.
What, are you too busy for us now?
Just tell them, Casper.
Andreo, please.
Can we get started?
Yeah, Aiden's got a meeting at Mercedes he needs to get to.
Enough! Enough! Okay? This is what we have to talk about. It has to stop. Understand? If we can't pull together now...
If we can't pull together, we are finished.
Wait, what does that mean?
Andreo...
It means that if we don't finish 5th or higher, Butler Global will pull funding. And I don't think we'll find an investor to replace him. Not now.
Wait, what? Casper?
Yeah, it's true.
Well, then we're finished. Andrea?
We're finished.
So yeah, Dad brought me onto the team and then immediately threatened to shut it down.
Why would he do that?
It's kind of his thing.